Okay, so I hadn't done a very good job with my video on this particular project, but I wanted to go ahead and get it followed up and show the finished product, what we've got. So, alright, so we got our pickle done, and we've actually got the whole tank complete and full of fuel. So I just wanted to just kind of catch up on this segment. So what we've done, we've already done the pickle, and we cleaned it out, washed it out, you saw that, and we have the fuel tank. Once we got it cleaned out, we dried it. What I did, I had a boot dryer, and I stuck that in one end and let that hot air rise up into the tank and get it good and dry. I also used a blower to blow the air out to try to get it dry, and I let it sit there for several days to dry, make sure it was good and dry. And then what I did is I got this Red-Kote. I have no affiliation with Red-Kote. I just was explaining what I used, and this is a 1 gallon can of Red-Kote. Okay, so this Red-Kote is 1 quart on a 12 gallon tank, and 2 quarts for larger tanks. So that's why I decided to go ahead and get the gallon with this large tank, the 59 gallon tank. So I got the gallon, and what we did, we had a hoist, and I don't have a video of that, but we've got a hoist, and we put a sling on it where we could slide the tank back and forth. And you don't want to slosh. That's one of the instructions on this Red-Kote. You just want it to smoothly run over all the surfaces. So you got to take it real slow and easy. It's kind of thick. It's like paint. So you want it to run over all the surfaces, nice, and tilt it one way, let it run. Tilt it the other way, all angles. If you got any baffles, you want it to try to get on that. So we did that several times, rotated the tank around, and a gallon was plenty to coat this whole tank. And actually, I've probably got maybe half a gallon left over. But don't short it. You want to have enough liquid to cover all those sides. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. So I did order this off of Amazon. I can leave a link below to show where to get it if you're interested. And it did a very good job. I've never used this before, but it did coat the whole tank. All the shiny metal ended up red, and I've got fuel in the tank, but I'll hold the camera over to the side and you can see it in the spout where the red is. It's real cold right now, so the vapor level is very low. It's a very minor risk to do that at this point. I wouldn't do that if it was hot. So I got the tank all painted up. I got it lined and painted and in use. So I'll show you what the Red-Kote looks like just here on the neck. Alright, so here we are. I take a look inside, and you can see right around that neck, you can see the redness, the red tint to it. So that is the coating. You can see down a little below at the entrance of the tank that you can see it also is red. So the whole tank is actually coated in this red lining. So any rust that would be left in the tank would be sealed and affixed in that coating. So it's not going to get in your fuel or slosh around or get up in your pickup tube of your tank. So this worked out really well for me. I've been running this tank several months and haven't had any issues. Obviously I've got a filter pulling out of the tank, so if there was any debris that would pick up, any normal tank, you would want to put a filter on it. So this is the tank setup, and this is the complete restoration of the tank complete with Red-Kote lining. So if you're looking at a steel tank and you need to restore it, this Red-Kote appears to work very well. The vinegar worked very well cleaning it out, as well as pressure washing it. The only thing is you want to make sure you get all that vinegar out with water. They do have some more commercialized cleaners, but the vinegar worked well for me. Clean this tank right up. Okay, so here we have it, the 59-gallon tank installed, top coated, prime top coated with hardener and Red-Koted inner liner, all installed. So if you recall the beginning of this video, you saw how rusty this tank was. It was a complete mess inside and out, and now you have the complete final product right there, and it is 100% better. One thing I need to note about this Red-Kote is if you put this in the tank while you're moving it around, it says to let it, or once you slosh it all around, then you let it vent until you don't have the smell anymore. But you have to be very careful. If your tank is completely sealed, it will pressure up your tank. So we did have that. This is not a pressurized vessel. So with this just being an atmospheric tank, we just had an actual earplug in one of the ports over here for the vent, and with that earplug and the Red-Kote over it, it actually pressurized this tank enough to push out the side, to kind of bubble the side. So you need to be cautious of that and have a vent, or else you could have a big problem if that continued to pressurize and expand or explode your tank. You want to definitely have a vent. Alright, so that's it for the fuel tank restore. Got it all in place, and it's good to go now. Compared to the beginning of this video when I showed those pictures, it's just completely different. It's almost like brand new, minus the weathering damage on the outside from the pitting. But they shouldn't have any more trouble with that with the new coats of paint. So if you don't have an aluminum tank and you've got a steel tank and it's all rusted up, you can try this method. It definitely worked for me, and I didn't have to go purchase another tank. I had this tank already. I just had to clean it up. So I hope this helps. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and leave any comments, and we'll see you on the next video.